welcome in to the Fantasy Football Game Show, brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I am your new and improved, upgraded host, JL, joined as always by Josh, and joined by a very special guest, good friend of the show, senior fantasy analyst at Pro Football Network, Eric Moody. How are you doing, my friend?
Moody. I'm still here. The internet issues, I suppose. And I was like frozen, and I was thinking, lagging a little bit. Everyone's wondering, like, is he going to say something? Is he going to be silent? Who knows? But no, I'm excited to be here, though, gentlemen. Hey, thanks again for the invite. So I did hear something about Pro Football Network, senior fantasy analyst. So John Luke, I'm assuming you went through all that.
Oh yeah, it was the best intro. You missed it, but it was the best intro. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
I really, I made you. I put you up here. Put you up here, my friend.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, hey, your check's in the mail, sir.
Yes.
Your check is in the mail.
Taking them,
but no, excited to be here though. We'll make it work. Any technical or internet issues and all, but hey, let's get the party started, right?
Hell yeah! Glad you are joining us. We got plenty of people in the chat already. Jay Wall saying fantasy fortune. Jay Wall, let's hit it. And then Jordan with, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you think Josh flexed in this picture? Josh, can you give us any insight?
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's pretty low, actually. I could make myself flex so much more.
I wasn't even trying. Josh, I'm so strong.
No, I was probably flexing a little bit because I sent those pictures to Jay, and I want to look.
You gotta flex for Jay.
Yeah, I gotta flex
for Jay. Yeah, and Jay and other Jay said, "Hey, speaking of Jay." And then he said,
"I'll put it at 6.5."
6? Okay. All right. That's respectable. Respectable. Yeah. And then Jay said, somehow I have missed all of the Fantasy Fortune episodes until now. Let's go.
Time today.
Oh, yeah. Marco in here. Love this group. We love you, Marco. Look at that. Dobbins. And then Nate FFL, bunch of good dudes. Much respect, y'all. Welcome in, Nate. Dan says Jay deserves 300% of his current salary. You know what? We're going to give him a raise, 300%.
No, you make it 3,000%.
3,000%.
Go for it. Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
promoted.
He's worth every cent.
Every 0 cents that we pay him.
Every front yard fantasy dollar.
And Dan said the first one was a masterpiece. Speaking of when he won Fantasy Fortune for the first time. And I think Eric is going to keep this streak going today of none of the FYF guys being able to actually win.
Don't put that pressure on him.
It's not much pressure. I'm not very good. And then Jordan said, Captain Burner in the Hizzy house. Like, that might be like a little redundant, but it was a good attempt. Good attempt, Jordan. Wasn't bad. And then person, Captain Burner at your service. And then, what's the conversion of front yard fantasy dollars to Stanley nickels? Josh, do you know? Stanley nickels.
It's pretty obvious. Like, how much a nickel's worth, and how much a dollar's worth. Yeah, we don't get outside that realm. We're staying in the same system, right?
We live right here, right in the comfort zone.
5% of front yard fantasy dollar.
Exactly. Well, today we are playing Fantasy Fortune, so I'm going to pass it off to Josh here in a second to tell us the rules and get the game going. Before I do, make sure you do us a big favor. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Helps us out a ton. It's free, easy way to support us. We're here every single weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we're also here on Fridays at 6 p.m. Not here, but we're on FanDuel's Twitch channel on Fridays at 6 p.m. I forget here, like we're all talking like the virtual realm, and it's not the same thing.
You're going to be sitting in that room. I'll be sitting in this room.
I'll be in the same place.
Well, actually, no, we won't. No,
oh my God,
not this Friday.
Not even true this Friday because we will be in Canton together.
Yeah,
we will be in Canton. Are you going to Canton, Eric?
Yeah, I will not be going to Canton. So not for this year. So hopefully that'll change here in the next time. Absolutely.
Hopefully,
I would love to meet you sometime soon.
And,
I would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Marcus said, FanDuel Fridays with FYF. FanDuel. All right, Josh, why don't you tell us the rule?
All right. I got this, guys. So today we're playing Fantasy Fortune, right? You might have seen it before, maybe not, but it's much like Wheel of Fortune. But instead of playing with a wheel today, we will be asking fantasy-related questions. So you will be expected to answer the question quickly, guys. And if you get the question right, you will get to guess a letter for the puzzle. If you guess it wrong, we will move on to the next person. You'll be rewarded $500 for each consonant you get right, and it will cost $100 for each vowel. If it's your turn and you think you can solve the puzzle, you can guess at any time, and whoever collects the most money over the course of the game will be our next Fantasy Fortune champ. Eric, don't let JL win this one. Don't let him do it.
It's going to be you, Eric. Don't let me win. Don't let me win, Eric.
We've been trying to keep him down, We've been trying to keep him down.
No pressure. No
pressure at all. But all the pressure in the world at the same time.
But all the pressure.
Anyway. Well, without further ado, I guess I'll get it up here. Let's share the screen.
Ooh, Josh Cho in here. What up, Josh?
What's up, Josh? How you been? Josh is a good dude.
Saw him yesterday.
All right. So I think we mentioned, before the show, this will be our first time playing with two people, but hey, even more, less pressure, you got a 50-50 shot at winning.
Yeah. Josh says, can I guess in the chat or no? We encourage it. We want you to guess in the chat. Eric and I will get out of the chat during the puzzles so that we don't see your answers. And if you get it before us, which you most likely will, for some reason that just seems to happen, then we will, of course, give you praise. And if you're very wrong, then we will make fun of you, as per usual.
All right, guys, we got our first puzzle up there. Eric, you decided you wanted to go first pre-show. Are you ready for your first question?
Let's do it.
All right, Eric. All right. So your first question, who had more reception touchdowns last season? Reception touchdowns. Was it Adam Thielen or Tyler Lockett?
Reception touchdowns. Adam Thielen.
Absolutely. Adam Thielen had 14 touchdowns while Tyler Lockett was at 10. Great job, Eric. You get to guess a letter. And just so you guys know, the topic for this puzzle is NFL player. It's a simple one we're starting out with. It's just an NFL player. Okay. He's fantasy related. Let's put it that way. So what letter would you like to guess? What consonant?
Decisions. I'm going to go with C.
He's going with the C.
Going with C.
I am sorry, Eric. There is no C in this puzzle. We're going to JL now.
Oh, man.
It was a fine guess. JL, you ready for your question?
I am. Hey, on multiple choice tests, C is always the right answer, so I don't blame you at all, Eric.
I'm more of a B guy.
You're more of a B guy. Then D, that explains a lot.
Because that has all of the above a lot of the time, so,
True, so you get the catch-all.
Exactly. But, JL, we're coming to you. Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Ezekiel Elliott or J.K. Dobbins?
Dobbins.
I'm sorry, it was Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott had more rushing yards with 979. Eric, we're coming back to you. You ready for your question?
All right. Yeah, I just hope I get it right, and then I hope I get the letter.
It's the elusive letter. We're going to get there, though, guys. We're going to get there. So who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Antonio Gibson or Ronald Jones?
Ooh, rushing yards, Antonio Gibson. Ronald Jones.
That is absolutely correct. Ronald Jones had 978 rushing yards. What letter would you like, Eric?
Oh, boy. Decisions. It's a name.
And as you can see at the top here, the C went away, so, it will keep track of it for us.
I guess I'll go with S. S.
He's going with an S.
It's calling out to me.
There are two S's on the board.
Wow.
Okay.
Which will bank you $1,000. You do have to solve the puzzle to actually earn that money, for instance. Put it into your final bank. But so, Eric, you have $1,000. You can buy a vowel, which costs $100 each, or we can go to the next question, or you can solve.
Let's go to here. I'm gonna add a vowel. Let's go with the vowel.
Okay.
So
which vowel would you
go with?
like?
A. Let's go with A.
He's going to go with an A. There's one A.
Okay. All right.
Does it help you at all? No? You can buy another vowel. You can solve, or we can go to another question.
Let's go to another question.
All right. We're going to another question.
Not quite there yet. Can't figure it out yet.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Did Allen Robinson have over or under 1,000 receiving yards last season?
Allen Robinson over or under 1,000. I am going with over. I think he had around like 1,300 if my memory serves me right.
He did have 1,250 exactly.
Okay.
Great answer.
Wow.
Eric, what letter would you like?
Good pull.
Gosh, looking at this, which letter? Wow, this is makes you look at things a little bit differently. All right, I'm gonna go with the B. B.
And especially when you're on the spot, right? B?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, there's no B. There's no B.
Oh boy.
It's the classic, when you're on the board and you got to think of these names and stuff. I'm sure people think it's a little bit easier. All right, JL, coming to you. What would you like to do? You want a question?
Yeah, I need a question.
All right.
Who had
more rushing touchdowns last season? Rushing touchdowns. Was it Aaron Jones or Ronald Jones?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones had 9 rushing touchdowns while Ronald Jones had 7. You're absolutely correct. What letter would you like?
I'm gonna go with R.
He's going with an R. I'm sorry, JL. There's no R.
Oh my God.
Eric, we're coming to you, Eric.
Okay.
So you do have $900 banked. You can still buy a vowel if you would like, or we can go to a question, or you can solve the puzzle if you think you can.
You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and solve it. It's come to me.
It's come to you? All right.
Miles Gaskin.
That is correct. Miles Gaskin is the answer.
Good one. That was a good one. Good pull.
All right, let's make the lights are going crazy now. The minimum you can bank is $1,000, so you will get $1,000 into your bank. Good job, Eric. Proud of you there. So Miles Gaskin, I wanted to ask you real fast. A lot of people, he had a pretty good season last year. Maybe not a ton of rushing yards, but he was pretty good in the receptions category. Going into this season, are you excited to have Miles Gaskin on your fantasy team?
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Miles Gaskin. He operated as the the top dog in the backfield last year, and has minimum competition at the running back position going into this year. And so he's in a good position to meet or exceed what he did last year. And I like him quite a bit. He's a nice value at his ADP, and someone that I would aggressively target if you're looking for a solid RB2.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot because it seems like people are just down on him a little bit going into the season. No one's really drafting him with the likes of no one's drafting him anywhere close to like J.K. Dobbins or DeAndre Swift or Antonio Gibson. We're typically seeing him fall to like the 5th, 6th rounds. And in a PPR league, I think he could provide still a lot of value because he doesn't have much competition. What do you think, JL? Do you agree or disagree there?
Yeah, I think he's fine this year. I don't have a single Miles Gaskin on any of my fantasy teams. At his draft capital, it's just not a good enough value for me. But I think I'm perfectly content with being wrong, and it's possible I'm just wrong on this year.
So I'm assuming you would take Travis Etienne over Miles Gaskin because I know you're a huge Etienne fan. How about you, Eric? Yeah. Do you agree with him?
Yeah, taking Etienne over Gaskin.
Yes.
Yeah. I would actually rather go. I would rather go with Gaskin just because, you look at Etienne. He's got James Robinson, who's still going to be a factor in the backfield. It's really more of like a kind of a 50-50 committee, at least in my opinion, with Jacksonville, with Etienne and Robinson. One thing that I wanted to add on Gaskin is that you look at their offseason additions. They've got, of course, they got Devontae Parker, they got Will Fuller, they've got Jalen Waddle that's there. They're going to be able to attack defenses vertically. That's going to open up things underneath and additional running lanes for Gaskin. So, again, I just rather have him because of the workload and opportunity share than Etienne.
I think Etienne might have, and it's actually crazy saying Gaskin has a ton of upside. So I almost was about to say Etienne probably has more upside, but I'm not even 100% sure about that. And we know Miles Gaskin is going to be involved. So they're pretty close in my mind. I have trouble between those two. So thank you guys for splitting this and not helping me whatsoever. Swamp Nola came in. Would you rather have Hunt or Gaskin? Quick, guys. What do you guys think? Moody? Eric?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Gaskin. I just think opportunity share, less competition, and Nick Chubb isn't a scrub. Try to make it rhyme.
How about you, JL?
I think I would just barely go Gaskin. It's tough though. I think this is where my bias comes in a little bit because I do like Hunt's talent, but the situation is much more difficult for me than ETN in my opinion.
I would go Gaskin here as well, actually. I'm rising on Gaskin. I think we were all sleeping on him a little bit, but he had a great season, and he's going to be a great PPR back next year, I think. A little bit nervous about the rushing though.
Yeah. And Josh got this.
Did Josh get
correct?
First?
Yep, a while ago. So he got it early on, Miles Gaskin, and then followed, of course, with others who were
with Jay spelling it incorrectly,
completely incorrect. Yeah.
But he did correct himself right after it, so it's fine. It's fine.
Too late.
And Burner coming in spelling it incorrectly, but a lot of people getting it right. Good job, guys, in the chat. The chat kills this game. All right,
Jay,
you guys ready for your next puzzle?
The chat rests. What's up, Fantasy Futurists? We love this game too. Thanks for joining in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys ready for your next puzzle?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's get in there. All right, people. This is NFL teammates.
Oh.
So it's 2 NFL teammates. So two guys on the same team. That's simple, right?
Ooh.
Eric, you won the last round, so you will get to go first. Are you ready for your question?
Yes, yeah, that's kind of intimidating looking at that, but let's get the party started.
That's real.
Well, honestly, if you know Wheel of Fortune, sometimes the bigger puzzles are easier to solve because there's more letters getting thrown up there. You can kind of figure out one of the names maybe, and then it might help you get the other one even. So
at least this is teammates and not the trade one, where at least if you get one teammate, it's a little easier to get the other one. Where the trade one, it's like it could be anyone.
But with the trade one, at least like you gotta
like a
realize
range.
that they're in the same range. Probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Exactly. So they're both a little. They could both. You can both use some fantasy knowledge to get there, maybe. But anyway, Eric, we're coming to you with your first question. Did Brandon Cooks have over or under 1,000 receiving yards last season?
Brandon Cooks. Over.
He did. He had 1,150 receiving yards. Great job, Eric. What letter would you like?
Oh my goodness! Looking at this, and I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with C. I'll go with C again.
He's going with his C. There's one C, Eric. One C, which will get you $500. You can buy Val, or we can go into the next question, or you can solve it. You know, if you're crazy like that. But
yeah, I'm crazy like that, but I need a little bit more.
I thought he was about to do it. I thought you were about to do it.
I'm crazy like that, and I know.
I'm tempted, but I'll go with another question.
All right, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Robert Woods or Chase Claypool?
Robert Woods or Chase Claypool? I'm going to go with Robert Woods on that one.
Robert Woods had 936 receiving yards, while Chase Claypool had 873. Absolutely correct. What letter would you like, Eric?
I'm going to go on this one. Let's go with H.
He's going with an H. I'm sorry, there is no H. There's no H. JL, we're moving on to you for the next question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Who had more receiving touchdowns last season? More receiving touchdowns, all right? Was it A.J. Brown or was it Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen.
I'm sorry, Keenan Allen only had 8 receiving touchdowns. A.J. Brown freaking killed it in the limited. I mean, he missed a couple games, but had 11 touchdowns. Kind of where he made his living, more or less. You know, big plays and touchdowns. He wasn't quite the PPR guy with 70 receptions, but he had a good year. Eric, coming to you. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Who had more receiving touchdowns last season? Was it Justin Jefferson or was it Marvin Jones?
Oh, Justin Jefferson and Marvin Jones. I feel like this is incorrect, but I'm going to go with it because Jones. It's got to be Jones.
It is Jones. Great job. I actually thought you were going to get that one wrong. I thought that was kind of a tough one. Marvin Jones had 9 receiving touchdowns, while Justin Jefferson had 7.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just thinking because I'm like, I know Jefferson accumulated like a lot of yards, but not as many touchdowns like in that offense. And I felt like that was all I remember Marvin Jones doing last year, is like catching touchdowns, catapulting his value. I guess as far as the letter here, I'm really looking at this. I'm like, what? And
that was
I'm looking
very
at
smart, by the way, Eric. Very great breakdown.
That C is very precariously placed.
My thoughts exactly, John Luke. I'm looking at that. I'm like, my goodness. I'll go with M because
M?
you know, Moody M. Let's see if I get lucky.
I like it. I like it.
Perfect. There's one M, which does give you the
I think I know that one. I think I know it. I just can't figure out.
That's going to give you another $500.
Okay.
And you can buy a vowel, or we can go on to the next question, or you can solve, of course, as always.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a vowel. Let's go with A.
He's going with an A. There are two A's.
Okay.
You can buy another vowel, or we can go into the next question. Or
I think I know it.
He thinks he knows it. Oh man, you hate hearing that when you're on the clock. You know, you're trying to figure this out.
I realize that.
I definitely got it.
I will tell you this much, Eric. I've heard that before, and the person that said it has not actually known it.
Oh my goodness! I guess I'll try to at least maintain control. I'll go with another question because, hey, John Luke may have it, but look, I don't got it. So.
Give it to me, Eric. Pass me the ball, Eric.
Oh no!
All right. So let's get another question for you. Did Miles Sanders have over or under 1,000 rushing yards last season?
Miles Sanders under.
He had under. That is absolutely correct. He had 867. Great job.
Okay.
What letter would you like? I love this guess that I just randomly saw pop up. Andy Reid and great mustaches. How do you know?
And great mustaches.
How did you know?
All right, with the letter, I will go with R.
He's going with an R.
Mm-hmm.
There's one R. One R. You can still buy a vowel.
Gosh.
You still feel like you know it down there, JL?
Yes, and I hate this feeling.
Yeah, because I'm like I do not. All I can do is until it clicks is try to maintain control. I guess I'll buy a vowel. I'll buy an E. I'll buy an E.
Buying an E. There are two E's.
Oh. There's so much heartburn right now.
I'm just like, why is it that the dots are connecting like in my brain? It just may be because we're live and I'm looking at this. And
as soon as someone says that Simon always does this and he goes, "Oh, I got it," and my brain freezes. It is like it is so annoying. I just like.
I believe it does.
Oh man! All right, I guess I'll go with another question. All I'm gonna do is try to maintain control. So.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Who had more rushing yards last season? More rushing yards. Was it Damian Harris?
You're
breaking
up a little bit.
Okay. No, all good. Who had more rushing yards last season? Was it Damian Harris or Myles Gaskin? Damian Harris or Myles Gaskin rushing yards. Did you hear me? I guess not. Not.
I could not hear any of that. My apologies there, gentlemen.
Can
I was
you
trying
hear
to
me
make
now,
it out.
Eric?
I can hear you now.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. I'm
now.
just glad you can hear me now. But who had more rushing yards last season? Damian Harris or Myles Gaskin?
And who had more what?
Rushing yards.
Oh, rushing. Damian Harris or Myles Gaskin? Myles Gaskin.
I am sorry. Myles Gaskin had 584. That's kind of why, actually, I think a lot of people aren't loving Myles Gaskin going into the season because he had 584 rushing yards last season, but had a pretty good year. I mean, he missed a lot of games, and that's really the big reason. But, JL, do you want to solve?
Go ahead and solve it.
I would like to solve it. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary.
That is correct.
Yeah!
That's a good one.
I got Zach Moss and I could not figure out who the second person was. I was like, Eman Sander? No, that doesn't work.
You gotta be teammates. No, that is good. It's there.
So after two rounds, guys, the score is tied.
You did all the work for me on that, Moody. You did all of the work for me.
I did. Yeah, I remember. It was like it feels like we're having a repeat of the first game. Like
with the horse.
I remember? Oh man.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. That is one of my favorite episodes. Is that episode of horse?
All right, let's get after it then.
All right. Well, real fast, I wanted to ask you about these two guys.
Oh yeah.
Going into next year, do you have a favorite out of these two, Eric? Like who do you prefer?
Yeah, I don't really have like a favorite. It's kind of one of those scenarios with whoever is left, on the draft board. I would go with that person. It's just I think the Bills found out last year that success or failure will be defined by Josh Allen's arm and his mobility with his legs, and the formula worked out really well. I mean, they almost made it to the Super Bowl, so I don't really see them straying away from that. They have to have running backs, they have to get touches, but it's a scenario where I see it being a close to a 50-50 split, and each one getting around 200 or so opportunities. So I will give Moss the edge because of his red zone proficiency. And I think that's where you can get some bang for your buck from an ADP lens for where, he'll score some points, but he'll be touchdown dependent. So that's my take.
Kind of sucks to be touchdown dependent when Josh Allen is the quarterback for your team too, where he's stealing a lot of those touchdowns. So
exactly.
Jay, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think if I'm going to take a shot on either of these guys, it's going to be Zach Moss. But I agree with Moody, and I don't know that they're going to. They weren't run heavy. They didn't rely on the run last year. So unless that changes, which we don't really have an indication that it's going to change, then I don't think either of these guys will be really that relevant in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it almost feels like, and I hate saying this, but one almost has to get injured for them to actually want to put in your lineup every week. Zach Moss feels like the better pure runner, and Devin Singletary feels a little bit maybe more explosive and a better pass catcher. So I think they're going to eat into each other throughout the year. So yeah, I'm not necessarily excited to have either of these guys on my team, but it could pan out. It's a high explosive offense, so who knows what happened. And it looks like Josh got it real early again. He's killing it again.
He is killing it.
Man. I want to say we should get him here on the show, but like he's gonna make everyone
Yeah, that might not make for good TV. Although a lot of people do like watching us get humiliated, so maybe it does.
yeah, that's true. I like watching it.
It's kind of our shtick.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to load up the third puzzle for you guys. We have a tie game so far, so it's close. It's close, and we're doing JL's favorite category. We are talking about a fantasy trade. I would look through the Twitter, all the spheres, the Google sphere, and found a fantasy trade that I thought was interesting. And hey, now it's up here. So JL, you got the last one right. Are you ready for your first question?
Yes. I know that first one's Sam Bradford, so I'm already ahead. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, how'd you wait? All right, never mind.
I don't think that's the right number of letters.
In a PPR league, all right? In a PPR league, who had more fantasy points last year? All right, in a PPR league. Was it J.D. McKissick or Nyheim Hines?
McKissick.
It's not McKissick, but I feel just horrible about asking you about that. They were so freaking close, and I wish I didn't put this question together for you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Ugly.
I got it wrong. I should have known.
It's ugly Josh math that I just did to you, like heinous Josh math. But I'm not even going to tell you how much they scored.
What's the difference?
I don't want to tell you. Nyheim Hines had 193.2, and J.D. McKissick had 191.4.
Nice.
So I feel horrible about asking that question, but Eric, just because I did that to JL, I'm going to do a very similar thing to you this next question.
Don't you dare.
No, Eric gets it now too.
One.
No, Eric's got it now too. Here it comes.
All right.
Are you ready for your question, Eric?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
In a PPR league, all right? Okay. In a PPR league, who had more fantasy points? Was it Deontay Johnson or Robbie Anderson?
Deontay Johnson or Robbie Anderson? I'm going to go with Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson is correct. Robbie Anderson had 223, while Deontay Johnson had 221. So same split.
You can't Josh Math Moody.
Nothing gets past Moody. I can't do it. Moody, you get to guess a letter.
Oh man, I'm looking at this and I was like, what fantasy trade? I'm like, wow. So I'll go with the letter D.
You're gonna go with D?
Yeah, I'll go with
dog.
D is in dog.
There's one D.
Okay.
It's the worst when there's only one.
Yeah.
So insulting.
You can buy a vowel,
So this
or
is
we can go into the next question.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and buy a vowel.
All right. What vowel would you like?
Yeah. I'm going to go with A.
He's going with an A. I'm sorry, Eric. There's no A.
Nothing.
There's no A in this
A.
puzzle. That's disappointing, I know. But I'm disappointed for you. But JL, we're coming back to you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Next question. All right. I'm not going to make it crappy like the last one, or as crappy. You never know. It's me. So who had more fantasy points last season? Was it Chase Claypool, or was it Corey Davis?
God, it was Claypool.
It was Claypool. He was the 22nd ranked wide receiver, 214 points. What letter would you like, JL?
I will take a S.
He's taking an S. There's one S. Just one S. One beautiful S. Your favorite.
Sam
just one,
Bradford. Right? Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's him.
I guess I'll take another question.
All right, going with another question. Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it DeAndre Hopkins or Tyreek Hill?
Hill.
I'm sorry, DeAndre Hopkins had 1407, while Hill had 1,276. I think I would have gotten that incorrect too, but now I'm looking at all the stats here. Tyreek Hill had 15 touchdowns last season. I keep forgetting about that somehow, while DeAndre Hopkins had 6.
Wow,
that just blows my mind. Blows my mind. It shows
Moody.
Sorry.
Do you think that there'll be some positive regression for Hopkins then?
Oh, for Hopkins?
Yeah, given he only had 6 touchdowns.
No, absolutely. Yeah, the targets will be there. And I just think Kyler Murray keeps getting better year in and year out, so it's more opportunity that's there.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, sorry, JL, you did get that incorrect, however. So, Moody, we're moving on to you. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Hopefully I'll have better luck than the last time. I can see JL's eyes light up. I've got it. I'm just like... All right, let's do it.
All right. Who had more receiving yards last season? Was it Corey Davis or Chris Godwin? More receiving yards last season.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis is correct. Wow. 984 for Corey Davis, while Chris Godwin had 840. Corey Davis was played in 14 games, while Chris Godwin only played in 12. What letter would you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go with let's see, H.
He's going with an H. We got one H.
Ooh,
that's an interesting H.
Maybe
that's a little bit. That does something for you. Maybe that does something for you.
That is interesting, yeah.
You can buy a vowel.
I don't know a single NFL player whose last name starts with an H.
And these are all current players, correct?
Yeah.
These are all current players. It was a recent fantasy trade that happened.
Okay. I kind of have an idea, but on that bottom one, I'm like, wow. I know the first one. I feel like I know the first one. And
maybe the vowels could help you here.
All right. So, okay. All right. So I'll go with the vowel. Thank you for the tip. I'll go with E.
All right. Let's buy an E. There are 4 E's. If you lose your $400.
But
do you know someone with the last name of an H all of a sudden?
I wasn't even in that. I didn't even think of him. I was stuck on the Cam. I thought it was Cam. And I was like, how many Cams can there be?
Oh my goodness.
You can still buy another vowel. And I think I mentioned this, but the minimum you can bank is $1,000. So let's say you solve the puzzle right now, you built up 600, you'll still get 1,000 into your bank, But would you like to buy a vowel, solve the puzzle, or would you like another question?
Wow.
Oh, this is a trade. I thought these were teammates for a second, and I was sitting there going, who on the Bengals? That's a name.
Yeah, this is a person with similar value, I would say.
Sorry, I guess I given away the answer, but I figured
I'm there. It's just that it's that bottom one. It's that bottom one. But I'll just kind of continue to stall while my mind works. I'll go and buy another vowel.
All right. What vowel would you like?
I'll buy I won't buy a vowel. I won't buy a vowel. I'll go for T. So we'll reverse that. I'll go with letter T.
Well, you gotta get a question first. Are you ready for your question?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to think.
So if you get the question wrong, though, we're going to JL.
I'll roll the dice. I'll go with the question.
All right, here we go. We're going.
Oh my goodness.
Who had more receptions last year? All right. Was it Tyler Boyd or was it DJ Moore?
More receptions, Tyler Boyd or DJ Moore. Receptions. Yeah, I'll go with Boyd on this one.
Boyd is the correct answer. Boyd had 79 receptions, while DJ Moore had 66. Great job. So I know you said you knew what you wanted to go with. What letter was that?
With T. Letter
All
T.
right, we're going with a T. There's only one T, however.
It's
so
like
not
I know
too much.
we know it. Yeah, I know. I just like I said, I'm trying to
see if there's any other T's in there.
It just drives you batty because we can obviously see the first one, but then it's with the other name. It is. I'm kicking myself wondering
You're
like
blanking.
who is this?
Yeah. I don't want to give anything away, but you could buy a vowel, or we could go on to the next question.
Who the hell is this?
All right, I'm going to go with letter G.
Well, you want a question, right?
Yeah. Let's do a question. That's fine.
All right, sounds good. Who had more receptions last year? We're gonna stay in that. Who had more receptions last year? Was it CeeDee Lamb?
Okay.
Or was it AJ Brown?
Lamb or Brown? Ooh, those two were close together, but you know what? Hey, it's Cowboys, Hard Knocks. Everyone's gonna be talking about this guy anyway. It's got to be CeeDee Lamb.
It is CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb had 74 receptions while AJ Brown had 70. I hit you with a close one. I hit you with a little Josh.
I realized that, yeah.
And you knew what I was doing, but great job, Eric. But you got to guess the letter.
If I could just figure out this name. But I'll go with the letter. It's I'll go with G.
All right, he's going with G. It's not going to help you at all. I feel like
not going to help me. Wow.
We definitely know who the first guy is, I feel like. We definitely know who the first guy is.
T. Huggins.
Yes, we
Eric,
do.
You can buy a vowel. Or we can go into another question. Or
I'll go and buy another vowel. Just I.
He's buying an I. There are two I's, but unfortunately, that is not going to help you at all.
You're cursed to that first name.
This is
my strategy is backfiring miserably. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is terrible. I'll go with another question. I'll just keep stalling. I'll get it eventually.
Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Who had more receiving yards? We're in receiving yards right now. Last season, was it Jarvis Landry or Julio Jones?
Josh, you're an evil individual.
I know. I try my best. I do what I can. You're killing me with these questions, though. So
Jarvis Landry or Julio Jones. Wow.
We're gonna need an answer.
Now, see, you're this is another great example, John Luke, of Josh math. These guys are eerily similar. Julio, he missed games. I'm just thinking in my mind, I'm going with the guy that played more games, so it's got to be Jarvis Landry. I'll tell you.
Jarvis Landry's the correct answer with 840 receiving yards. To Julio Jones 771. I kind of Josh math. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
It doesn't work.
We need a letter, Eric.
Hey, we know what's going to happen. This is not going to help me one bit, but we're going to go with the letter N.
It's not going to help you one bit.
The absolute worst part about this game is that you have to be out of the chat, and I just see 53 comments, and I know they're all in there going,
I've got it.
No, you got it?
I've got it.
You got it? Yes. Well, say what's up there.
I do. All right, because it's T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy.
Yes, that is correct.
I'm very determined, but it clicked because I was thinking, I was like, who has a similar value in Dynasty like to T. Higgins? And I was just thinking, okay, it's got to be Judy, young guy, but it's my stalling actually worked of keeping the answer questions.
You just kept answering them, man. You just kept getting them. You didn't give JL a shot.
Not even one shot. I had it like 5 minutes ago too, and I
know. And everyone's like, is this guy going to stumble and get these questions wrong?
No, you weren't, though. Hey, we know you know your fantasy knowledge. Maybe you're not as good as like putting together Jerry Judy's name, but that's just fine. That's just fine.
Yeah, what the hell, Moody? I thought that was a skill you had. I endorsed you on LinkedIn for that.
So, Eric, which one of these guys would you rather have in a Dynasty league? You playing some Dynasty league?
No, yeah, absolutely. So for me.
So which one?
Yeah. For me, it would be Jerry Judy for me. I'm a huge Jerry Judy fan just from being a Bama guy. And you look at the situation. You've got Cortland Sutton there. You've got Jerry Judy, and Judy. I'm like he showed me a lot last year because you've got a guy where it's like, okay, we got our number one receiver. Cortland Sutton got hurt. We're just going to make you our number one receiver for the season. And so he was able to navigate those ups and downs, put together a pretty solid rookie season. And I think he learned a lot from that. And again, it's not a stat or anything that can quantify that. But if you look at Cortland Sutton coming back, demanding defensive attention, Judy's going to get a team's second best, corner. And I think he's going to eviscerate anyone that he comes across. And so he's only going to get better. And so I just rather have Judy over Higgins. So no Bama bias at all.
Sounds like you'd rather have Jerry Judy over Cortland Sutton as well.
I would. Yeah, I actually would. Yeah, I just huge fan of Jerry Judy, in college and obviously in the NFL. So yeah,
I'm such a big fan. Such a good route runner. It almost feels like they're it's like Cortland Sutton almost feels similar to T. Higgins, while Jamar Chase kind of feels almost similar to Jerry Judy in their respective situations. So
exactly.
Let's see what happens. JL, how do you feel about this? Would you rather have T. Higgins? Oh, well, do I really have to ask you?
Yeah, my Clemson bias is going to get a little bit in the way here, but I do like T. I think people are very down on T. Higgins. I just had my writing debut for Football Guys. I was included in an article with a bunch of experts, and T. Higgins was on my undervalued at his ADP. Was on that list because I think people are very down on him with Jamar Chase being there. And they're kind of forgetting how he did last year. He played very well his rookie season, and he's a bit overshadowed by the other rookies, from his class. I think I think they're both going to be very valuable in fantasy for years to come.
I couldn't agree more. I'm very high on both these guys. I'm excited to see what happens next year. I really am.
Troy in here, gang. I'm guessing he left a while ago while we were trying to figure it out.
I'm almost afraid to look at the comments.
Rudy's clutch. Yeah, look at that. Look, Rudy's clutch. The comments are great. No, they're loving you guys. They're loving you. The comments have all been positive for the most part.
Yeah, Burner had C.D. Lamb. That's a good guess. Gus Edwards would have too. Someone else had that guess, and that would have been Matt Tizzo. He said. I lost the comment, but he said Gus Edwards, which would have fit. I wasn't even thinking that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would have. It's a good point.
Absolutely.
And Mattiozzo asks, how do you guys like Ayuk against Higgins and Judy? What do you think, Eric?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, that is a good one. I would still lean towards Judy because Ayuk is impressive. It's just when you have the all the playmakers in San Francisco, they just haven't been on the field at the same time together, like Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, and they lean heavily on the running game, and so I just don't see the targets being there like people think. I just rather have Deebo. I think he's a better value. And then with Higgins, it's I like Higgins. I just think Chase is going to dominate the targets. Just if you've got a guy that you played with in college and had the prolific season that not Jerry Judy, that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow had, it's tough to overlook that, in my opinion. At least I would rather have Judy out of those three players.
Does the same apply for Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne?
Yeah, no, it's just that continuity. It's like it's like this. If you're in the trenches with somebody, day in and day out. These guys are practicing together. They're in meetings together. They're in study hall together. They're eating lunch together. They may even have the same classes. It's just it's tough to that bond and that kind of continuity. I'm like, I think it translates well to the next level if both players are studs. And clearly in those two scenarios that you have, these guys were key contributors to their teams.
Right.
And so I just think that puts them ahead of the curve because they're already going into the NFL continuity and they're kind of learning the NFL pro game together. And so I just think it accelerates the just kind of accelerates their what's the right word? Somebody help me here. Like accelerates their progression, I would say. Yeah.
I almost said onboarding, but I don't think they use that in the NFL.
You know what? We're going to onboard you here.
Yeah, we're going to onboard you onto the NFL.
Yeah.
They use it. For me, in a redraft league, I don't like taking Ayuk where he's going. Okay. I feel like T. Higgins and Jerry Jeudy are going after Ayuk. So I would draft Ayuk in a redraft league before these other two guys. He proved a lot, but in Dynasty League, I still love Jerry Jeudy and T. Higgins' talent. It would be tough for me to take Ayuk over both of them. I would probably let someone else draft Ayuk. I'm not saying he's uber talented. He is, but like Moody said, the situation is interesting at best. I think Kittle is really, and you said something. Debo, I would absolutely take Debo at his ADP over Ayuk. At his ADP, not straight up. So there it is.
Yeah, I think I would go Higgins, Ayuk, Jeudy, but it's close.
Yeah, they're super close. That was such a good draft class last year. So good.
Yeah, it was. Good question. Great question.
Yeah, that is a good one.
All right, guys, we're going on to our next puzzle. You guys ready?
Yep.
I don't care. We're doing it.
I gotta redo myself.
Let's do it.
All right, this is a player nickname, actually. A player nickname. Yeah, player nickname.
Nickname. Wow.
It's a nickname.
Who gave them this nickname?
Yeah.
I bet you've heard it. Let's just put it that way. Eric, we're coming to you first.
I hope so.
So it's not you're not going to be blown away by this. It's not something I gave them, all right?
I'm going to have to start coming up with nicknames on my own. This is going to get real weird.
All right, Eric, we're coming to you. Are you ready for your first question?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm looking at this nickname. I was like, Josh, you've done it again, sir. You've done it again. Go ahead.
You've done it again. Dagnabbit.
All right.
All
right. Did Deontay Johnson have over or under 875 receiving yards last year? Deontay Johnson.
I see what you're doing. You're giving me all these Josh questions, and this is another one, John. But this is another one. But you know what? You're not getting this guy here because it's over. It's over.
It is over. I want to fool you now.
Stop. You're like over 100.
It's like a test over here, you know? Like I'm trying to figure this out. So, all right, Moody, what letter would you like?
Oh man, now I'm looking at this with this nickname. I'm like, who has a nickname like this? A nickname is like Moody or UPS.
It's a longer nickname than their just normal name, probably.
Hey,
exactly.
I think you guys will understand once you see it. All right.
All right. I'm going to go with I guess I'm going to go with the letter C.
A C? As in cat?
Yeah. Yes, C as in cat.
And you are incorrect, sir. I apologize. The C is not working very well for you today, I guess.
It is not. You know, I thought it would do better, but you know, hey,
there's no C in Moody. That's why.
Oh,
yeah, I guess you're right. You're right.
All right, JL, you ready for your question?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Did Robbie Anderson have over or under 1,000 receiving yards last season?
Over.
He did. He had 1,096. Good job, JL. What letter would you like?
I would like A.
An A?
No. Sorry. I would like a T.
A T. He's going with T. I'm sorry, JL. There's no T. Get out of here. You can't put it all together, I guess. Eric, we're coming back to you. You ready for your question?
Yes, and the internet was acting up, and now it's back. So hey, perfect timing.
Hey, you can hear me, right? We're good.
I can hear you. We're good. Let's do it.
Who finished higher in fantasy? It's just in a PPR league. Who finished higher? All right.
Okay.
Who finished higher? Was it Russell Gage? Or was it Brandon Ayuk?
We were just talking about this guy.
Yeah, we were, weren't we?
Russell Gage or Brandon Ayuk? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk on this one.
I'm sorry, it was Russell Gage. Brandon Ayuk actually only played in 12 games, and that's probably a huge reason why. While Russell Gage played in 16 games,
he had that real hot start to the season.
I feel like that was like the first one Eric's gotten wrong questions wise. He just gets the letters wrong.
I know. As long as John Luke doesn't hey, I know the nickname, I'll be like,
odds are good. Odds are good. I don't know it.
Oh,
I don't think F1 fits in this puzzle.
It does not, and that would be a pretty poor puzzle if we're being honest.
You can't even guess numbers.
It's like, what are we supposed to? What are we doing?
You just spell out one. It's just phone.
Ready, Jo?
I'm ready.
Who finished higher in a PPR league last year? Who finished higher? Was it Ronald Jones or was it Chase Edmonds?
Jones.
Ronald Jones is the correct answer. He finished 20th out of all running backs last year in a PPR league. What letter would you like, JL?
I'll take an S.
He's taking an S. I'm so sorry. There's no S. There is no S.
Wow.
What the heck is this nickname?
I know, right?
Moody, we're coming to you. Unless you can solve it, I'm going to just hit you with a question.
Yeah, I can't solve that one right now, so I guess we'll go with the question, Josh. Let's do it.
Who finished higher in a PPR league last year? Was it Kenyon Drake or Miles Sanders?
Kenyon Drake or Miles Sanders? Oh, wow. This is another Josh one.
To need an answer, Eric.
I'm going to go with Miles Sanders.
I am sorry. Kenyon Drake actually finished 16th overall, while Miles Sanders finished pretty low at 23rd overall. I don't necessarily blame him to the full extent. I mean, the Eagles were just a mess last year, right? And he played in less games. Yeah. He played in less games when it comes down to it.
Very true. Okay. All right.
So, JL, we're coming back to you. You ready?
I guess.
You think so? Maybe? Possibly?
I guess.
Yeah.
Who had more receptions last year? Did Calvin Ridley have more receptions? Or did Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks.
I'm sorry. Calvin Ridley did with 90 receptions. Moody, we're coming to you. You guys will get a letter one of these times. It's all good.
We're striking out here.
I know.
Boy.
Moody.
All right. I know the Falcons threw enough.
They apparently do throw enough. Julio Jones missed a lot of time last year too. So, who had more receptions last year? Was it Marquise Brown or Darnell Mooney? And I feel bad right after asking this one, just so you know, if it makes you feel any better.
It's another.
If you get it wrong, I'll hit JL with a tough one. But
oh man, Marquise Brown or Darnell Mooney?
Receptions.
Receptions. I'm gonna go with Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney is the correct answer. He had 61 receptions, while Marquise Brown had 58. What a pull! What letter would you like? I feel like you're gonna get one this time.
A letter, and I can't. Can I buy a vowel or
not because I don't have any money.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, looking at these letters,
we can't get
R. Let's go with R.
There is an R. Yeah, let's go, boys.
I think I know it.
So you do have money now to buy a vowel if you would like.
Did John Luke just say he knows this?
I think I might know it.
Thinks he knows it.
I think I might.
That R really helped out a lot. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna I'll buy a vowel, and it will be. I guess I'll go with O.
He's going with the O. Oh, what a good choice!
I definitely know it.
You're not going to have much money, but at the same time, it might have helped out a little bit.
I'm sitting there, only John.
You're blanking.
Knows it.
No, hey,
I'm looking at this. I'm
all
like,
the time, Eric. I'm telling you, like you're sitting here looking at it. Someone tells you they know it, and
I'm looking at this. I'm like, wow. Okay. All right. I guess I'll just have to take a question then, I suppose.
All
So I
right.
play keep away as long as I can. Try.
You've done well so far.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
All right. Who had more reception yards last season? More reception yards. Was it Jerry Jeudy or Marquise Brown?
Are you talking about Jerry Jeudy or Marquise Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my gut is telling me Jeudy. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jeudy on this one.
Jeudy is the correct answer. Jeudy had
Hopefully you can hear me.
856 reception yards.
Damn it.
I can. We're good.
Yeah.
You get to guess a letter now. You're correct.
Okay, all right. It was breaking up. I'm like, Judy, and I'm like, I hope they hear me. You have to, forgive me with my internet here. All right, so another letter. I'll go with, I guess with the letter M.
You're gonna go with M. I'm sorry.
Oh!
We are coming to JL,
man.
and JL seems like he might know the answer. I don't know what you want to do here. This is going to be our last puzzle.
Oh, man.
It is. Which means I've already lost. So maybe I need... No, there's no way I can get enough. There's no way.
All right.
I'll just solve and try and make it so it seems like I'm not as
well. I
dumb
just
as I am.
realized there are no more vowels, and we only guessed one vowel. That's pretty interesting.
That
kind of set you guys up for failure here. All right, what is it then, JL?
It is Hollywood Brown.
That is correct. It is Hollywood Brown. Yes. And the chat was yelling about it a lot, but I asked two
That's what clued me off, Josh, is that because I was trying to think of all his nicknames, and then you said the player's name, and I was like, oh, like Marquise Brown. I was like, oh, he's got a nickname. And I was like, Hollywood Brown. I was like, wait, that fits.
Josh comes in and says, stop asking about Marquise Brown.
It's not the first time he's done that.
This man keeps bringing him up.
He just can't stop himself.
Josh is a savage.
Oh.
Look, and Werner actually caught it when I did raise my eyebrow whenever you asked the second one, because I was like, dang, like he asked two. I was like, huh?
I swear I didn't mean to do that. It just felt like a good question. I know we talked about his receptions, and I wanted to ask a more fair question, I guess, and say, where'd he go? Oh, there you go. I wanted to ask a more fair question in my mind, but it was not. I forgot who we were talking about in the puzzle, to be completely honest with you.
It's not the first time you've done that.
I know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. JL does bank $1,000 for getting this correct, but that only puts him at $2,000. And Eric, you had $3,400. You are our Fantasy Fortune champion. Let's go.
You did it.
Yes.
Very, very
well
proud
done.
Of you.
The pressure did not get to you.
Your prize will be faxed over to you later tonight.
Faxed.
Mm-hmm. Fax.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. You just gotta drop me your direct fax number, and I'll get it right there to you. Yeah. If you don't have a direct fax, then oh well.
Oh yeah, you forfeit the prize. Just a stick figure drawing that Josh drew.
I feel like when you're talking about facts, I was like, now that's a term I haven't heard in a long time. Like I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi here. Like seriously. Wow. That's funny.
I like this Bitcoin.
Josh, I'll fax you some Bitcoin. Josh said it's actually Unlimited Mista, aka Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you never heard of him?
It fits Magic Beard. I actually did think it fits Magic, and I was like, I couldn't make it fit.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go with him because he is one of the puzzles that I almost did instead of Hollywood Brown for player nickname. It would have been Ryan Fitzmagic, though.
Ryan Fitzmagic. Oh, brutal putting in Marquise as a question.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great.
Mike Green's like, is he trying to throw them off? Nope, he's just Josh.
If anything, I think it should have helped them instead of throwing them off, but that's just me.
Oh man, well done, Moody. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was super fun. And let's see, first time you came on, you unfortunately did not win horse, but now you've won. So we got to do best 2 out of 3 at some point.
I won. Yeah, we got to do it again. So, but no, thanks for the invite. Hey, it's always good to catch up. Offline and online for everyone to see, and me stumble over looking at some of these words on the thing. But hey, I was able to be victorious. But I just encourage everyone. Hey, check me out on Twitter. I love engaging with the community at Eric and Moody. You can find all my content over at our Pro Football Network. We have all the latest like NFL news, rumors, plus analysis not only on fantasy football but sports betting, NFL draft, and much more. I know we're really going to ramp up our college football coverage as well. But I know Tommy Garrett and I have a podcast that we launched yesterday. In the mood for fantasy football. First episode is out there. Feel free to check.
He loves a good wordplay.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, yeah. You guys check it out. Everyone else does. Yeah, and just leave a review, on there. But we got a lot of content that Tommy and I have been preparing for the draft kit. So that'll be kind of trickled out and published here over the next couple of weeks. But hey, always happy to help and visit. And I guess, gentlemen, until next time, and I'll leave you with this. As for those that will get this reference, I'll leave you with this. As Macaulay Culkin said in the 1994 film Richie Rich, it's been real, gentlemen. It's been real.
It's been real. It's been real.
Yes.
And I'll leave you with this. Trading makes fantasy fun.
There it is. There it is. I can't speak highly enough of Eric and all of his content. Definitely go give him a follow. One of the best follows on Twitter. I full-heartedly, is that a term? I don't know. Full-heartedly endorse following him and following his work. One of the smartest analysts out there. Eric Clutch Moody. I like that. That's the next puzzle.
It's your new nickname.
New nickname
That's
puzzle.
my nickname.
Yeah. So next time we play, guys, remember Eric Clutch Moody is going to be up there. Not you.
But yeah, that is going to be it for us today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter, Front Yard FYF. YouTube, it's Front Yard Fantasy. You can follow Josh and I individually. Simon as well, who's normally here. We're here every weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, playing games like this, and goofballs like we are. And you find us on Fridays with FanDuel at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Every Friday doing the same ish. So why miss it? Same ish. 6 times a week.
It's a good time. Maybe some better ish. You never know. Check it out.
And I'll leave you with this. Suck it, burner. See you all tomorrow.
We all left it with something.